I'm feeling all right.
You are yelling in this microphone.
Oh, sorry. I am yelling.
Or either you're yelling or they're way up.
I'm
I don't
just
know what's
turned
going on.
up. Am I turned down?
I'm gonna turn me down.
Okay, I'm gonna talk like that. That's good. I'm gonna get real close like that. Okay, that's
I'm
good.
like a ring.
I'm gonna go watch that performance when I get home because that bitch ate.
She
pissed on that whole stage, and like I'm good.
I saw that. You know how I heard about the song? I was on Instagram, and this woman was explaining how to sing the diamond ring part from the song.
She said, "Cause y'all need to know this."
She was like, first you have to practice the words, then you have to know that the first two rings are in your head voice. Then you come down somewhere in between your head and your chest, and then the rest of it is your chest voice. And I was like, girl, she was like, and you got to make sure you take a big breath before you start.
And they up here doing choreography and moves and stuff. I'm like, okay.
I was like, y'all better sing. Rang is bringing it down. Here's Taylor Swift doing the same thing, 20 years.
I met him on a Wednesday. We broke up on a Friday. Number one hit.
I kept seeing those promotions for Showgirl, and I was like, no, thank you.
What? This is not a Showgirl. Even Sabrina Carpenter gave us more Showgirl than this.
Sabrina Carpenter performs her ass off.
This looks like a little, like, what are we doing? You still doing shit from the 90s. You sitting in the field. You laying back with your notebook. We've seen this from 1992 to 2000.
So you put on some feathers and we supposed to be like, oh, yay.
Confessions of a Girl. Sit down.
Listen, she's got plenty of a fan base.
I'm glad she's successful, but girl,
beautiful gown.
Beautiful gown. I don't know if they beautiful. I ain't never seen no gown that I like.
I mean, Aretha said there was the beautiful
Aretha
gowns.
didn't know her, but she also said, Aretha was like, I don't know who that is. Who?
God rest her soul. She was shady as I don't know what.
She was.
So shady. Are you ready? Do you have any questions? Are we good?
Yeah, I'm good.
We got good format.
I keep it cool. Yeah, I keep it cool. I keep it really cute and silly. Like, I'm with it. I'm with it now.
I mean, we're going to have a good time because I got some things to talk about. There is some things to talk about. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Oh, so we didn't quite go yet. That was the wrong button.
I was like, wait a minute.
But now we're going to go.
Oh, you should have recorded that.
I already did.
Oh, that's hilarious.
We're hot. We're hot.
Okay, here we go.
This is Brunch, Blaze, and Ballad,
where we eat, elevate, and talk about
media trends from the past,
the present,
and the future
from a Black perspective.
I'm your host, Roger Turner.
And I'm your host, Alexis Bertrand.
So sit back,
spark up,
and let's get into it. Hey, Alexis.
Hey, Roger, baby. How you doing?
I am good. I'm good. I cannot complain. I'm really enjoying this fall weather.
I can't.
You know I'm a fall girly.
I know. You are a fall girl, and I can't do any of it. I'm so over it.
You do.
It's all the cloudy, it's too much.
Come on, give me all my cardigans and hoodies.
All your cardigans and hoodies.
Yes. I am a fall Gap commercial.
Oh, God. I don't even understand it. Like, I get it.
Love it.
It's fine. It's fine.
How was your brunch?
Brunch was real cute. So I've been in the mood for some catfish.
Ooh.
And I had me a catfish dinner. Or catfish breakfast. It was basically grits and fish and grits like we do, but it was catfish.
Come on, fish. Ooh, that is my favorite fried fish.
Mm-hmm.
Good old catfish.
Right, with a little egg, little grit.
Oh,
baby,
so
it
good.
was everything. Mm-hmm. That's what I had. What you up to? What you eating?
I went to a local spot called Strange Delight.
Ooh, I feel like I've heard of this place. Keep talking. Strange Delight.
It's not far, but they specialize in like Southern style like seafood.
Ooh.
And during their lunch menu, they have a protein in 3 where you pick your protein, and your protein could be anything from like oysters to fried shrimp to fried flounder, salmon. They have fried green tomatoes.
I love a good fried green tomato.
So good.
Yes.
And then like a bunch of different sides. And it was really good.
I love that.
It's really good.
I love that for you, actually.
Yeah. I had a great mocktail because I'm not drinking right now.
Good for you. Me neither. Although they trying to drive me crazy at my job. So, that might change in a week or two. That might change by next episode. I don't know. But I'm with you.
The plan is to not have alcohol for 2025. So we'll see.
For 2025.
We're at the end of 25.
Until
September of 2026.
Okay, all right.
The goal is for the next year.
I'm feeling you. I'm with that.
So we'll see.
I'm like, we'll see.
I'll be fine.
I know.
I'll be fine. My husband don't know.
We're gonna pray. We're gonna pray for his strength.
He's doing good though.
I'm sure. I know he is. I know he is.
Scale of 1 to 10, how high are you?
I am a demure like 6.5.
She's cute.
I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling more light and sunshiny than that weather outside. So I'm gonna say 6.5. 6.5.
Well, how
about you?
I'm a cozy 6.5. We're in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
We're in the same neighborhood.
So we should sound intelligent for the most
for now.
For now.
Let's see what happens.
I know. Let's see what happens.
You want to tell the people what we're talking about?
Oh my God. I'm very excited to tell the people what we're talking about today. So okay, brunchers. Now we've talked about reality TV on our cast before. And this one is going to go on a different path here because we want to focus on the dating and like relationship ones. Now here's what's crazy. In my research, and I'm sure you about to let us have it with what you researched, we as a people, not just you and I, Roger, but we as a people, as Americans, we love being in somebody's relationship dating business. Okay.
That's only the half of it, girl.
That's okay, and I'll throw this out quick. So y'all brunchers, so listen, I'm doing my research and I found out that 80% of us, no matter what we watch, whatever we watch, streaming, cable, what have you, 80% of us have at least one dating show on our go-to list of things we watch.
So is that 80% of all Americans? Or
80% of all Americans
or 80%
who watch this. I just did our country.
TV viewers.
All 80% of people it said North America that watch television.
Oh, so that could be
stream.
That could be Canada too.
It could be some parts of Mexico too. So it said North American network or or district or whatever region.
Wow.
And I was like, what? Each one of 80% of us have at least one. At least one. Not just reality TV, but dating reality TV show.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. So but that also includes people who like they catch it when they catch it, and you have people who are like diehard.
That makes sense though.
But we love to be all in people's business. And when Roger and I were talking, we were talking about like, well, what are the messages, right, that we get from watching all these dating reality TV shows? So I don't know about y'all brunches, but I am a huge fan of all of these shows, right? I watch too many of them. And you can catch me and probably you any point in time watching one of these shows. And if you ever had a moment when somebody has said and or done something wild and you have just said, she said what? That's the name of today's episode.
I've definitely been there. That is amazing. Thank you for that intro.
Yeah, so she said, what is the name of our episode today, y'all, as we talk about dating reality TV shows.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to
pull back the curtain. So come on, pull us back even more on this crazy
So
one.
with my research, I guess it makes sense that most of us want to watch reality, like relationship or dating themed reality shows.
It's a thing.
We've been doing this a really, really long time.
And I don't think, how long have we been doing this? 'Cause I actually don't know. I think I know the show, but I don't know when the show came out. So I don't know how long we've been doing this.
So the first reality show centered around dating TV show, you probably know the name of it. What do you think it is?
I thought it was The Dating Game.
It is. The Dating Game is the first time we actually see reality dating, topics.
And that's the one. That was the 3 questions, like somebody's behind a board, like there's a divider and there's like 3 people, right? Like I think The Dating Game was like that, or wasn't it like 3 people would answer certain questions and then dependent upon those answers. Am I thinking about the right show?
Yes, I think you are thinking about the right show.
And then like they eliminate, and then the contestant or the person who's picking the date, they would eliminate them one by one, like meet your third contestant, meet the second.
The original version is that a bachelor would ask questions written in advance on cards.
Of course, it's
to each of the 3 hidden. A bachelorette would ask questions on a card to three hidden bachelors behind a screen and ask all of these questions. So yeah, the dating game is actually the first reality centered show. So where there's a woman that she's like shopping through these three different men with predetermined questions, and she picks a date from that, and that person goes on a date.
Now, I remember watching this as a kid in the 80s and thinking it was really hugely popular because I felt like it came on like at a prime time, where a lot of people were home, right? We didn't have DVRs and that kind of stuff. We didn't have streaming, so you had to catch it on the time slot it was on. So I felt like this show was quite popular in the 80s, but that would make our fascination with reality TV like 45 years old. But I don't.
So the revival of the show came back on in 1996, but the original show came on in 1965.
Damn. So we're close to like 60 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait a minute. We've been fascinated with people's dating lives for 60 years.
With the original dating game came on December 20th of 1965.
Damn. Oh, we are nosy.
We've been nosy for more than 60 years.
Who dating who? What you say?
So, we're talking about both dating and relationship shows. So shows. So reality shows that center around following a relationship or relationships.
Okay.
When do you think is our earliest show? What do you think is our earliest show of
following a relationship?
Because
the dating game was just all about get the date and it was done.
Mm-hmm.
There was never really no follow-up with that, right?
No, not really.
Right. Okay, so the first one that followed a relationship, I would say, I don't remember anything like that until the 90s.
That would be probably the earliest of what our generation would have.
Yeah,
I'm
trying to, what was the, because I'm thinking following relationships. No, actually, I don't know. Because I thought maybe MTV might have had something, but I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, what was our earliest? I'm confused.
All right. So An American Family is an American television documentary series that followed the life of a California family, the Loud Family, not the Loud House cartoon.
Gotcha. I was like, the Loud House? I think I know that cartoon.
The Loud Family. It was the American family that they followed. It was, of a mother, father, and their, I believe, 5 kids, 5 children. And it was a reality show. They followed their lives for, I think, about 3 years.
Shut up.
Following their day-to-day lives. It was the first time that Americans were getting to see the insides or the guts of a suburban family.
We love a good suburban family. Well, we did back in the day. We love a good suburban family. When was this?
They filmed during the early 70s, but the show, which aired 12 weekly 1-hour episodes, aired in 1973.
Holy shit. Wait.
On PBS.
Interesting. So it really wasn't, okay, so assuming, right, we're talking about PBS. So this really wasn't about like the fanfare.
It was a documentary.
And the dramedy and the dramatics of all what we see reality TV to be now. This was really like a documentary. It was really to kind of give you that insight. And it followed the relationship or relationships of this particular family. 1973? That's interesting.
In 1974, BBC made its own similar program called The Family. The program consisted of 12-hour episodes showing in the daily lives and concerns of a working class family, the Wilkins family of Reading, Berkshire, England.
So clearly this was popular, right? Right? Because if it got picked up in the UK, which I think at the time was the second largest television market, right behind our own, right? So clearly we're picking up steam in the 70s. So we go from dating to like, let's follow relationships in the 70s.
So it was, yeah, and it was pretty impactful because the show ends up going off the air because the couple, the Louds, end up getting a divorce.
Now that is really interesting.
And it's
like divorce being the catalyst for ending the show.
Well, I mean,
it was a documentary.
Yeah,
it was
a documentary, and that was just the
but
end
how,
of the show.
But
it was
how
the
much,
natural end of the show.
But how much we?
Yeah.
But we know now.
right.
Divorce is like, that's gonna give me an extra season. That can give you another season right there.
It was one of the first times that Americans were actually seeing the ins and outs of divorce on television,
and they didn't like that.
Divorce was taboo back then.
It's super taboo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you. You're right. Because we were still watching television where the couples slept in the same room but in different beds.
Well, this is the 70s, so they were broadening out, and like television was pushing culture forward. That like we were just at all the revolutions were happening in the 60s and 70s. Especially with women. So America was just starting to get idea to normalizing divorce. Divorce was normalized, but I believe this was one of the shows that helped remove the stigma around divorce.
Wow, okay, that's great. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's good. So we've been obsessed.
We've been out here in these streets in people's marriages and other people's lives
forever.
Since longer than I've been alive.
Right. So it's okay, fascinating. So what I find, okay, so now we've established dating, we've established following relationships, but still from a TV media lens, it's still documentary.
Yeah.
It's still not like salacious. It is not.
Oh no, we
haven't hit that yet.
We can thank TLC, Bravo.
You know what though? I think we can.
All the girlies.
I would thank MTV though.
MTV.
I would say
did launch our obsession.
Because I remember outside of TV. Cops, which I think, for all the bad reasons and all the whatever reasons, like it glorified that and like it became like such a popular reality TV show. I distinctly remember. So Real World happened somewhere in the 90s, right?
Real World
happened.
I believe.
I didn't write it down. Oh, 92. I feel like early 90s. Yeah, 92.
Yeah.
So Real World happens in 92. And here I feel like in this show, even though we're following the progression of friendships, there were still relationships in there. But the show in and of itself was a vehicle and it was popular. But I remember MTV doing a bunch of like dating shows.
Yeah, because
I think there was a ton of them.
Because I think MTV, especially Nielsen, was a big thing. I think MTV, Viacom was starting to notice. I guess no one really knew the history of what reality was and how long we've been interested in other people's like relationships. But I think people started to notice that some of the most popular characters from the real world were the people that dated. So.
That's a good. Yeah, that's
so
a good.
So you started
assumption.
seeing a branching out of a bunch of different like dating shows.
Yeah, so they had show like I don't know. Did you watch it? Did you watch like Singled Out? I remember Singled Out.
Yeah, I remember Singled Out,
and I remember Dismissed. Those were crazy.
Next was mean as fuck.
I forgot about Next. Yo, Next was so raw. Remember they used to step off the bus and the person be like, Next.
And I was like, yo, this is fucking mean. This is
so mean.
So mean.
But we were into it. And it's funny because we were young then, right? So MTV here, I feel like MTV in middle of like was TRL there up then?
Absolutely.
You have Real World. I think you still had Yo MTV Raps happening on this because it's early 90s. And now I feel like mid 90s.
Well, I feel like next, those reality shows are closer to the early 2000s.
Next was definitely 2000s, but there was a bunch, right? There was a cacophony, if you will, of these dating shows that popped up in the 90s in the midst of all that was going on. And to me, I think we talked about this before, where this is the turn where we see music television turn to MTV.
Yeah.
It's like it started to drop the music. We were seeing less and less music videos.
When they started realizing that they could now start doing programming. And that's when Viacom started getting bigger and they started buying other properties. And
like VH1, that's when they added all of it.
VH1, they ended up buying BET.
Yep, that's right.
And then Logo was launched under Viacom.
That's right. So my point is, like I felt like there was this spurt again. Mid 90s, it was like we're looking for television to hook in these young people. And because I felt like if we went to, I bet you if we looked up the statistics for the dating game back in 1965, we would probably see that it was marketed towards a younger audience.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I
And
don't
so
even have
here-
to look up those.
right,
It's
right.
definitely a younger audience.
So MTV's doing it again. MTV's doing it like, okay, we're getting bigger, and they have all of these dating shows, but that's where it stops, because that's what, to your point with Next and like Singled Out and Dismissed, once they got their, the couple, it was like, show's over, thanks for watching. And at the same time, you have Real World, who is just a juggernaut, because nothing else really, reality TV-wise, was able to keep up with MTV's Real World. I would say maybe Survivor, but I don't know when Survivor came out. But I remember for a while, like the biggest reality TV show anybody wanted to watch was Real World. So here you have these dating shows that are like clicking in for here's a season or two in the 90s, and that's it. Where Real World was going all over the world, and to your point, the castmates that we enjoyed the most, or the most popular ones, were the ones who were in relationships.
Yeah.
So I think by the time we got to the 2000s, I think we were primed to really get into people's business, because TLC was now established, right? And so to me, right, you had all these other, WeTV was already established.
Remember when all of their formats used to be other stuff?
Yes.
TLC used to be all of this like self-help
It's literally
stuff.
called The Learning Channel.
Right.
Like that's what it stands for.
It used to be all of these documentary things and all this
how to
wonderful
knit,
stuff.
how you want to cook, how to heal, what is I don't know, reflection.
But
and
then they started to, then somebody came in and said, hey, we need to start pulling in advertisers and start competing with these other, because then cable had become a huge, larger network.
Yep.
It's not like we weren't
And
cutting
all those
we weren't
right.
cutting the cord yet.
Yep. And so they had took all the movies, all the big blockbuster movies that were coming out of the theaters were going right into these cable networks.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have fledgling networks like WeTV, TLC. What are we gonna do? We can't show Superman right now. We can show it in 8 months, but it'll already be saturated all over the cable networks. So what are we going to do?
So we got all kinds of things, girl. Like I have seen so much mess. We got I've been looking at 90 Day Fiance.
Okay, so before we get to that, right? The precursors? So we had a bunch of damn precursors there. So do you remember Wife Swap?
Child, Wife Swap was a mess.
You remember how crazy that was?
So we
had Wife Swap, which was nuts.
So to the younger ones, if you don't know what Wife Swap is, it's exactly how it sounds. It's actually a porn now, but
oh, it is. Damn. Okay, we are not telling you to watch that on porn. No.
It's not the porn.
No.
It's not the porn. It is so two families, very different lifestyles, and the wives from each family would switch homes and live in each other's homes for like a week and help manage their house the way they manage them at their house. And it was a part of like seeing what life is like in someone else's shoes, or teaching people to do different things. And sometimes it's just, trashing other people's stuff. Like it was messy.
It was so messy, right? And so here we are, what I feel like we're in we were hooked, right? It was salacious enough. It was dramatic enough. And I think this is the era where everything is on the table. So remember how we were talking earlier, the American Family show in the 70s, it ended with the divorce. Now we're in the era in the early 2000s of reality TV where everything to me is on the table. It could be divorce. So you have Cheaters, which was, I think, the first iteration of Cheaters. You remember that?
Cheaters.
It used to come on after Cops.
They had to take that off the show.
They had to take it off the air because it got too real.
They had to take it off the air. Somebody got killed.
Somebody got killed behind that motherfucking show. That's how raw that shit got.
They had to take that shit off the air because, so if you don't know what Cheaters is, it's a show that is, someone suspects their spouse of cheating. They hire a private detective
in his team,
and the private detective and their team with the cameras go follow the philandering spouse.
Yeah, don't let Tammy Roman fool you, honey. There was this. You remember that white dorky dude who would come with that little pat? So I got some news to tell you. Jerome is hanging out.
Yeah,
with
Tammy
Ashley.
is on the new version of the show.
the new version.
That's right.
So Jerome hanging out with Tasha right now. Matter of fact, we are outside the door. Would you like to
go?
Do you want to confront?
Do you want to just break up now, or do you want to confront them? Let's go.
Let's
Get your
go
shoes.
right now. You know what I'm saying? You hear the cameraman hustling, huffing it. So you have catfish. Sorry, you have cheaters.
I would say catfish is relationship.
It is. Oh, it is too.
Absolutely, it's dating a relationship.
Now, is that a new? I feel like there was a catfish show back in the day too.
Well, I feel like catfish is kind of a. I'd say
I'm wrong.
2010s.
Yeah, it is 2010s. Yeah. So before that, you had Bachelor and Bachelorette that showed up in the early 2000s. So this was ABC.
Bachelorette is The Bachelor and the Bachelorette has a whole franchise.
Yeah.
Now based on that whole Bachelor.
And they're almost that's almost 25 years old.
Yeah, that's a mess though.
So it is. So you had Wife Swap, you had some messy stuff. Flavor of Love. Do you remember that foolishness? That's how we
got here. MTV.
Told you. That's VH1, right?
Yeah. No, is that VH1?
Yes, VH1 had Flavor of Love.
Listen, VH1.
Well, it's still all MTV.
I'm blaming y'all for The Bachelor, all these other things, all these one person dating a bunch of different people at the same time. I blame you all. That Flavor of Love mess.
Yep.
Then they had Rock of Love.
Love. Tequila. She had her own was bisexual. Like, so she had.
I liked her. I liked hers.
See, you hear this? You hear this, right?
She was messy too, but I liked it. I was like, come on, girl.
That is the thing.
Tell these men that they could kick rocks with any one of these women at any time.
So the 2000s is really, all of this is blowing up. All of this is on the table. And you went from The Bachelor, which was like, let's get 20 thoughtful, mindful people. Mm-hmm. Flavor of Love was like, I want the cast of characters crazy. We want Ruta to the Tutor.
It gave us New York Tiffany New York Pollard.
We would not have Tiffany Pollard without Flavor of Love.
And she gave us some of the best television. People know how to make reality TV show careers because of Tiffany Pollard.
She's a blueprint.
She is the blueprint. She is the one that gave you all the lines.
Yes. And at the time,
Beyonce.
Look at Exactly. Oh my God. And then you had shows like The Real Housewives, even though it's not a dating show, for those of you who watch those kinds of shows, this content relies heavily on dating and relationships. So even if it's not focused on that, I even some of these like reality competition shows, it gets more juicier when the contestants that are fighting for these prizes happen to be like, there's a little spark of love there. And like, that is our jam. All the ones that are popularized, from dating competition to just dating or relationships, the more the relationships are on the screen, the more viewership it gets, period. And I think it was the early 2000s that just said, it's all on the table, whatever you want to talk about. So then we got, he done broke up with her. Now we got blended family, sister seeking husband wife, husband seeking sister wives. We got secret Mormon wives. We got secret Baptist lives.
We got 90 Day Fiance,
my God.
Love After Lockup.
We got
You, Me, and My Ex.
Marriage at First Sight.
Marriage at First Sight is wild.
Okay, so
wild. Arranged. Have you seen Arranged?
Oh, yes. Okay.
That is wild.
It is. I didn't even think we were still doing that kind of shit in 2025.
Apparently, Romani marriages, they refer to themselves as gypsies. They follow this couple that they've been arranged marriage since 14 and 13, and they get married at 17 and 18.
Like,
I'm like, it's
too much.
Does this?
Right. So now it's almost as if you start a new network, you need to have your soap opera, you need to have your news, you need to have maybe some movies, and where's your reality TV? Like, what is your lane? It's almost like if you don't have those four in there, maybe a sitcom, maybe news, maybe soap opera, but you better have a reality TV show. Like,
you know, and as much as popular as it is, I don't know how much I like how vast the market is, how many different markets, because, you know, the only reason we have reality show is so we don't have to pay actors or writers.
yes.
It's the reason we have reality television is because networks found a way to have popular programming without having
The
to
cost,
hire,
without the high cost.
without having to hire the creatives to create the thing. So we exploit, you know, people's lives.
Yep.
So, I mean, there is something to learning or seeing into a part of life that we have not seen before. But also at the same time, I think we talked about this before. Also at the same time, I feel like we are getting a little dumbed down in our creativity.
Absolutely, which is interesting. So you have networks like, right? Because now it has gone crazy. Because they're not paying all these actors, now they're doing, right? We got Destination. So we got the Love Island, right? We over here in Temptation Island.
Temptation Island is rude.
So rude. But they go to these places, and even some of my favorites, right? They're at a what is it called? They're at not a bodega, a villa in the middle of Italy.
Oh, I Kissed the Boy?
You know, I love me some I Kissed the Boy.
I do like it.
So, okay, so before we dive into some of our favorites, we got to ask ourselves, because let me go back to your point. Your point of, I actually like the expansiveness. One reason I like the expansiveness of all the different types of reality TV shows is because there is something for everyone, which is the easiest thing to say, but I end up learning about cultures that and how people move and think and navigate love in ways that I had never even considered, because they have been put into situations that are very unique, very nuanced. Like, everybody isn't going into a villa in Italy to find love. No one is doing this for weeks on end, right? And so, but it gives us something. But my question that I want to pose to you is this helpful?
Is it helpful? Are we watching anything that's healthy? Is
this helping? Is this helping my relationship?
Is this helping? Should younger people that are still like negotiating and navigating the dating world, should they be getting their role models from these reality show people?
I'm even wondering, people who are like, if you're in a hurt place right now,
ooh,
should you be watching this?
Woof.
You know,
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
I would like to shift, and let's talk about some like really unhealthy things that we've seen on reality, like dating and relationships.
Yes.
And let's talk about some of. Let's give ourselves like a top 5 of like things where we was just like this. I don't know if
this specific moment or just like in general.
In general, yeah. Give me a show. Talk about some things. Why you think it was like, maybe we shouldn't be watching this on TV. I have one. If you're not.
Mean, you go ahead and start us off, because I have a bunch.
All right, so I want to start with an oldie. I want to start with The Bachelor.
Talk to me about this.
So, The Bachelor really, I think it has a lot to do with the casting and who is in the selection of who the Bachelor is and who the Bachelorettes are, who are these board of people. It's definitely not people of color. It's definitely not black women, because for years we didn't see black women.
Nope.
And when we did see black women, we saw them treated in a way, the way we treat them in our everyday culture, is that they were definitely pushed at the bottom or behind white women or other non-black women. And so we kept seeing that pattern over and over again. And then there was this, when there was conflicts between people of color, like a black person and a black woman and a white woman, or a black man and a white man on the Bachelorette shows, there was always these accusations of aggression. You know, that started happen. It took them years before they were able to have a black Bachelorette.
And be all right with it.
And she worked the shit out of that.
Yes,
she taught America lessons, honey.
But that's such a shame, because that came like 20 years after the fact.
Yeah,
we're not talking about like, after a couple seasons they finally did.
It was,
they waited.
Been on for decades.
And it also the message of what you had to look like. So there wasn't varied body shapes and body types there at all.
There wasn't a variety of different
all
body
had
shapes.
to look at, like, it literally looked like a pageant.
And I don't like the idea of you dating being competitive. Like this whole competing, like everyone competing for one man. Like I think we're delivering horrible messages to women that you need to compete or see other women as adversaries for the affection of a man. That's wild.
And we put you all in the same place so we can watch you navigate your jealousy, because we all know in the real world when people are dating, I get it, you're dating other people. The beauty about that is I'm not watching it. I'm not literally looking at you go on another date, and the camera is right there to capture my very real human self, and I didn't like that at all. It's like I'm capturing. So what if you're jealous? Like, I think anybody would be jealous if you're interested in somebody and you're watching them walk off to the beach and you have to, like, you just have to suck that up. I know this is what I signed up for, but I feel like we value that. I want to catch you when you're uncomfortable. I want the viewership to see you go through all of those emotions while you're going through this competition. Like that part never did sit well with me. And then like towards the end, always the Bachelor, he just the ego on even with a Bachelorette, like it's almost as if he or she expected. Like I'm down to my last 8. It's like it becomes the biggest kiss ass fest. Yeah. And I'm like, is that what we want our young people? Shit, is that what we want anybody to understand? That's what you need to do in a relationship?
It makes me wildly uncomfortable. I had to stop watching the Bachelor. The Bachelorette wasn't much better, but it just made me uncomfortable watching. It's one of the reasons why I hated Flavor of Love, why I hate it. It's one of the reasons why I hate Ocho Cinco to this day.
Oh, my God.
When Ocho Cinco had his own reality show,
I don't do that.
And he had his own dating, and they had all these women competing in his affection, and he started off by putting these women in a competition bracket.
I didn't understand
and I said,
any of that.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
He put these women in a competition bracket, and on day 1 put them in a boxing ring.
This shit is no okay.
I said, what are we doing?
Well, you know what?
What are we doing?
And we were all right with it.
We were.
In the name of entertainment.
We were. It was crazy.
And we skipped that. And you know what? And this one, I want to, speaking of Flavor of Love, I'll let that be my first one. That shit I hated. The naming ceremony on any show that did that.
Yeah.
So I feel like Flavor of Love, even the ghetto ones that we've seen, like they always would name the contestants. And I'm like, I hate that.
Like, because what's their name?
My name is my fucking name.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? But again, for entertainment purposes, and I almost felt like when it's not just entertainment purposes, but also dehumanizing these women. It's super dehumanizing.
It's dehumanizing for these women, so it's easier to make them props in the show rather than be people.
And I think that is something I hated about this. Is probably more in the dating competition ones, is the overt misogyny, particularly because it always starts with a man. It always does. And even when the format now features a woman or someone who identifies differently, it is still based in that misogynistic framework, right? So the naming of it, I don't like that. I don't like the dehumanizing of it all. And then the prize.
Is this nigga?
Exactly. The prize is this ashy ass motherfucker.
I may have to bleep that out.
Dog. If you do, but you ain't like this ashy. Where is your lotion? Where is your you look like you smell.
You did 16 weeks of this for him?
That's the prize? We get to go off and try to be in a relationship.
What was the one where they pretended like he was a millionaire and he wasn't?
Oh my God. That one right there, that would have pissed me off. Could you imagine?
Joe Millionaire.
We get to the end.
And
I got all these feelings.
I'm just a blue collar worker.
You ain't got no money?
Girl, I've been competing with other women for like 16 weeks.
The next time you would see me on TV is in Love and Lockup, because I done beat this motherfucker on Joe Millionaire and now they lock me up.
On
site. Like, that's crazy. So that's like my big one. Like, yeah, that's the one I wanted to share there.
So I
have another if you don't.
Go ahead, go for it.
So, okay, can we jump into this? I like Love is Blind, but I can't stand Marriage at First Sight. I have watched.
It makes me uncomfortable.
It's so cringy.
It makes me uncomfortable
Because I feel like
because when you see somebody that's not attracted to this person that you're about to,
oh my, and you about to say I do, and you see that, I am so uncomfortable.
When you see the blindfold come off and the disappointment, I'm like, ugh.
Their breath just
because I feel bad for the person who's getting that reaction. I'm just like, oh,
especially
no.
especially if the other person is like super into them.
And you're
like,
like,
you are
them,
fine, and they're like,
they look at you and they're like,
you look like a Buick. Like it
is uncomfortable.
It is the most uncomfortable, and the people who are getting married are so rigid and like final in what they believe and what they want, because I would think like for folks who've actually dated, spent time together, been together, and then decide to get married, you're kind of firm on some things, right? But here we have this weird ass experiment where we're going to take two people who just seem to be compatible on paper in these forums, who are rigid and firm in what they want that hasn't been said. And now you're going to marry them?
Yeah, no, I don't know. First of all, I'm not letting other people pick who I'm going to marry.
These experts behind a damn wall. Who the fuck?
Listen, I'm not even going to listen, if I'm not going to let my family arrange my marriage, I'm definitely not going to let a bunch of strangers.
And you know, Mike, check 1 2 1 2. You know, everybody on this particular show, you can see it is not there for marriage.
No.
You can tell they're there to be on TV, and that is the other thing we didn't talk about.
They're there to become a star. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are not actually there for a relationship.
On any of these shows.
There's definitely people there that are just to become stars.
I look good. So when I look at Love Island, everybody fine.
Everybody trying to
Everybody got abs. Everybody got tan. Everybody got cuts.
Everybody's trying to start a social media following.
You see what I'm saying?
Everybody is. Listen, they leave that show and they got all their fans.
Boom.
Up there on their social media.
The second the episode dropped, you might know me from, is right on their Instagram.
Right.
You might have seen me in, and let me link I'm like, okay, I see where you're going.
And then they doing a cooking, workout, beauty, something on these little Instagrams.
I ain't even thought about the person they was chasing for 8 weeks on this damn show.
They showing you all the things.
So maybe that's what I wanted to get at, is the gaslighting of
that you're here for love, but you're not here for love. You're actually here to start a career.
You're here to start a career.
And I mean, that's cute too. But
we can see it.
Yeah.
Like you're not even that good of an actor that you can fake it like, oh, they really want this love.
They're not an actor.
That's the problem. Sit down. You cute, but you should go somewhere and sit down. So that's my second one.
That's why they on a reality show, because they can't act. They can't get an acting job.
Damn, you might be onto something there.
So I went down a rabbit hole.
Uh-oh.
Reality show. It's been on for like 20 seasons.
Okay.
I did not care about these white people. I was like, why would I want to watch this? So for the research for the episode, I started watching it. I couldn't watch all the episodes because it has like 20 seasons. So I watched like the final wrap-ups of every season.
Oh my goodness. That's interesting. Of what?
Child, Sister Wives.
Oh, child. Jeez.
Sister Wives.
Baby. And you know, we need to ring an alarm because Roger don't watch white people doing shit together. But that show?
Wow.
Ain't that some shit?
That was crazy.
No, they
had me on a roller coaster because first seasons when they was doing all the wrap-ups, sitting all together on the couch, and they was seeing the therapist and getting, I was like, okay, well, maybe they finding another way to like do marriage.
Keep watching.
And they trying to do like poor marriage.
Keep watching.
Honey, their marriage got tested just like everybody else's marriage.
Oh my God.
The pandemic came, honey.
And that's all she wrote.
The pandemic came,
baby.
Honey. Okay.
And the truth came out.
Miss COVID said, you thought you was married. Let me show you what marriage is.
Child. Can I tell you, everybody that I talk to and they watch all these shows like I do, every time we get to Sister Wives, we like, baby.
Yeah, because it was so crazy. So if you haven't seen Sister Wives follows a plural family from Utah.
I love how you said plural family. You better come on with
that's how they consider themselves. They call themselves plural. So this man named Cody, he has 4 different wives.
4.
His first wife, Mary. His second wife, Janelle. His third wife, Christine.
I can't believe you watched all of this.
And
I love this show.
His 4th wife, Robin.
Shit, Robin. Okay, y'all ain't seen the show. Just stay with it.
And so, one by one, he's married all these different wives. I started watching the show as Robin is joining the family. He gets married to Robin.
That's a good place to start.
Comes on, and that's when things start to, it gets buck loose.
You don't think white people can act like these? They get buck.
So you start seeing this dynamic, which I thought was wild, because I was like, oh, he's this rural, Midwestern man that is married to all of these really independent women. They were all like voicing their opinions, and like he often says, it's sometimes. And I wasn't early on Cody yet, and I was like, Cody is still, I was like, oh, so Cody is used to a patriarchic way of life, but he did marry strong women, and he looks like he wants to change that about his life. And I was like, good for him. And this might be an adjustment. So I made a pass for him for some of these things that he was saying.
You have to, though, in order to watch this show.
Until COVID happened, and when those women disagreed around how they should come and go and see their family. And
the COVID season is
he
insane.
was just straight up like, nobody go anywhere.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's not realistic. Our family, how are we supposed to see our family? Our children are different places. Our sons have to work. We have to do all these different things. So you're not going to come to our house if all of these other things are going. But we've tested. We've done everything the CDC says. If we leave the house, we're going to now like quarantine for 3 days and then test. And if we test, and he was like, absolutely not.
It came down to his way.
It's his way. And so he kept saying things like, I'm always feeling like I'm being disrespected. I'm always feeling like and I was like, oh. So what frustrated me was like every time someone sat him down and questioned him, no one ever questioned. If I were interviewing him, I would ask him, I'm like, Cody, what's the difference between disrespect and disagreement? Because that's what he was labeling as disrespect. Anytime a wife disagreed with him,
was disrespect,
or voiced a disagreement, or did not, obey.
Yep. That came up a lot.
To something that they knew was wrong. That was that
and they wrestled with
he got increasingly more disrespectful, and more, he got increasingly more disenchanted. And he kept saying, and then he would use emotional torture, like he would refuse to have sex with a wife.
Ain't that something?
It's
buck
He
wild.
would stop having sex with them, and then stop having.
And tell them that.
And tell them
straight up.
And like, I'm not interested in having an intimate relationship with you. And so they're supposed to just stay in this marriage, regardless of what is happening.
Sexless marriage.
And he would often say, like, I didn't want to have sex with them because, they were having these horrible relationships with the other wives and all. And that's not what happened, Cody.
No.
That's not what happened. What was happening, Cody, was that these women were standing up to you, and as punishment for standing up to you,
they can't get no dick.
You decided not to have sex with them, but you
can't
can go.
No dick.
But you can go over here and have sex with Robin,
and they know it.
And Robin was like, I was the whipping one. They always came down on me, and I was like, no, Robin, you made it more difficult for them because you were the only one in a dynamic that would do whatever Cody said.
Y'all, if you don't want to watch all 20, you should start the show when Robin come into
when
it.
Robin come in, don't watch all 20. But long story short, all the women left him, honey. I think he and Robin are the only ones that are still married.
You got to watch, y'all. You got to see how that play out, because him and Robin, him and the last wife are the only two that are still married. And Robin questionable, but okay, I'm gonna go. I don't get all because Robin about to be like, she about to be about it. I didn't sign up for any of this. Shit, I came here for a plural marriage, and you done ran all the other wives away. Yeah, she's starting to realize he's the problem. But see, that's why I like shows like this, because if we wanted to just get any kind of insight into how other communities show up, right? There's places in this country I will never go. There's towns, there's little cities. Even when I'm driving cross country with my partner, there's certain places I'm not going to stop. If I'm going to want to understand other parts of Americana and other cultures, it's going to have to be through a camera, right? So these places allow me safely to get in there because what Roger just described, yes, the dynamics alone makes this show watch-worthy.
Yeah.
It's also the culture in which they try to fix it and they want to grow it, but it's because it's in this conservative ass culture, it gets really, really tough.
I think before that time, the only time we had really seen plural marriage was in a fictional show, Big Love on HBO. That was the first time we actually saw.
Or I think TLC might have done like they did like Raising Amish or like Living Amish.
Like
but we those didn't kind of things.
It was more about the culture, not
That's true.
really like the relationship part of it.
Fair.
But the only time we actually really saw the ins, like the guts and the inside of a plural like marriage was Big Love fictionally. And then Sister Wives was the first time that we actually see like the inside.
True.
And like, I did learn a lot about like, you know, how Utah law was like really strict and how a danger it was for plural marriages and that they had to hide because, you know, if someone found out that they were a plural marriage, you know, the state could come in and take the kids away. And like, I mean, yes, and because they're, you know, underage marriages and, you know, there's a lot of that was happening in Utah, which is why the laws were happening, was to protect young girls that were being forced into marriages.
Yeah. Wow.
So a lot of that was prevalent too, and that's why Utah says they hold on to these laws. At the same time, there has to be a medium. There has to be a different way because everybody in this marriage were consenting adults.
Right.
Like, yeah, there wasn't any underage women.
Or like questionably young. Like she looks 19, but she's she's 19, but she's given 16. It was none of that in there.
There was none of that. Like,
which I actually I appreciate
like
that wasn't in this.
All of Cody's wives were grown.
Yes, like none of that was in there, and it has showed up in other shows where it's like it's kind of questionable. Like one of the, you know, was there any grooming and stuff involved? And I think they've just gotten better. So I do appreciate that. Speaking of laws, if I can switch gears, my favorite, and I'm going to call this one my current favorite reality dating show is Love After Lockup. Because speaking of laws, I have learned so much
legally
about laws in every country.
I have learned so much about probation law.
What
about
living with felons? If you how to violate your parole if you're not living in a halfway house versus the house that you're supposed to be in. If you want to move, depending every penitentiary is different.
Right. You got to get if your spouse decides they want to live in a different state, you got to you need to make sure that you get permission from your parole officer.
Yeah.
And you can move to this other state because moving to another state could be a violation of your parole.
And sometimes you see they'll follow a couple where the ex-felon doesn't care. Like, I'm just going to risk it anyway, and you see what happens.
Ooh, with that black Mormon woman from Utah?
That woman who moved to L.A. with her man and tried to, like, yes, I think I know exactly who you're talking about. So, and what was great about that particular episode or season is that I'm seeing a black woman living in Utah.
As a
Mormon. I never would have seen it without this show. Who married an inmate, ended up moving to LA. And what was crazy,
I felt bad.
She moves to Compton, right? You would think because she's a black woman, her partner was black. They moved to Compton. She's like, I don't understand this world.
She ain't had no black friends.
She had no black friends.
She had no black. You can tell from that weave. Yeah, she ain't.
Her lace front was not. It was sticking up. It was like you see the gel was kind of crusty.
You could see all of her edges.
Well, but she was ghetto as shit. Let's be clear. She was ghetto as shit. But it was interesting watching her black culture shock in the blackest neighborhood she had ever lived in with her children. How her children had adjusted to that. So what I say is, what I like about this show, I think a lot of the shows that we have problem with are it's like authenticity versus popularity. We're doing certain things like we were talking about earlier with someone like the Flavor of Loves and the Bachelor. It's all popular. It's all gimmicky. I feel like the producers on Love After Lockup, and it's 3 of them. There's Love After Lockup, which could go into Love During Lockup, which could be connected to Life After Lockup.
The spinoffs, honey.
But here's what's crazy. I have seen, because I've watched all of these, y'all, I've seen Love During Lockup. So a couple who are meeting while one person's still incarcerated for months.
I can't.
And they follow that up till they get out. Then you get Love After Lockup.
Girl, I can't.
But what's crazy is that it's all very real. And so what I think is wrong with this kind of show is that there's infidelity, there's lying. You have inmates talking to multiple. One guy was talking to so many people. He had 40 women he was talking to, right? Because and he had gotten to the point where this man was bringing in $2,000 a month from prison from talking to all these women.
Oh my God.
Now catch this. He finally whittles them down, but it gets to the point where he's now getting out and he has caught feelings for 2 of them.
I can't.
And so you think about that. What happens when an inmate catches feelings for 2 different people
you
who are out?
You don't fall for the con, dude. You don't fall for the con.
But the thing is,
fall for the mark.
But both girls fell for it.
No feelings for the mark.
But stupid him didn't talk to either one of them. So on release day, they both show up.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine how ghetto that is?
Wow. That's wild.
And it's all captured on camera. So I hate
Did they fight? They fought. Did they fight? Did they fight? They fought.
Well, one hurried up, one wanted to fight, but the other one jumped in the car and peeled off. Okay. What's also messed up is that there's been 3 seasons of couples that have been in my hometown. So, but the point is, it still glorifies a lot of the lying and the cheating for entertainment. Even though it's very raw, it's almost like it makes it okay. It's like because after watching so many seasons, you know when the shoe is going to drop. And you know when the ugly shit is going to happen.
What I also learned from that show was there was all this judgment around how the person that was incarcerated could be the questionable or the toxic part of the relationship, where most times it was the person that's out here in society that's wild.
The ex-felon was actually the good one. You were rooting for them.
The ex-felon, I was like, because I barely got past the first season, and
I watched it all.
And I was watching the recaps. But that first season, when Homeboy was trying to get a car. Because he needed to get a job. He needed to get a job because he needed to have a job in order to fulfill his parole and be able to make sure that he was able to fulfill the requirements to be able to live with his fiance. And she was like, "Why you getting a car when you ain't even bought me a ring yet?
Where's my ring at?"
And I was like, "Girl, priorities."
I was like, "What? No, I want my ring. I want my baby in me now." Quote, end quote. They literally said these things.
I need a car so I can get a job so I
can't do anything. I can't do it. Yeah.
I was like, she's wild.
So. Yes, I love that for what it represents, but I also can't stand it for how it just kind of pacifies a lot of the shit.
I did want to talk about seeking sister wife, seeking brother
what
husband.
What do you want to say about those? I didn't even know you were watching those.
Well, I started watching some of those. I did the same thing. I started watching series finales of all of them. You, Me, and My Ex is a mess.
I can't believe you watched that one. That is such a mess.
You, Me, and My Ex is a hot mess.
It's so horrible.
So
I love it though.
So I watched the season of Seeking Brother Husband, and it was good to see Black people involved in this poly relationship, and that a polyamory relationship, meaning that there's a woman that
older Black people
that has a relationship with more than one man, and that she's married to she has this relationship with 2 Black men.
Yeah,
and it was wild, but I was seeing the same issue as I was having an issue where only one partner is having sex with multiple partners in the relationship.
Yeah,
I think that becomes the problem. The inequity becomes the problem. Is that the one person gets to have sex with multiple partners, but the other partners don't get to have sex with other people?
No,
is that they're only focused on having sex?
Very interesting.
There's one person, and that's the same thing that I had the problem with the polygamy was that these people are only are supposed to share their sex lives with only one person while you have sex with
Yeah.
it's the inequity for me that became a problem. But I also was watching Polyfamily,
Yeah.
which I was like, this feels pretty healthy.
Yeah, it's only been a pilot episode. I think it's healthy, and then it's healthy in the sense like they really try to
They're trying to like
mesh it and meld it together, figure out because there's children involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's young children involved, and they're trying to figure out legally how to get everyone on the documents, literally.
Mm-hmm.
But they're talking through that. They're also talking about in that show someone who might be interested in dating someone outside of the polycule, if you're out, right? Because there's for those of you who aren't familiar, we're talking about in Polyfamily, it's two heterosexual couples that don't have sex with they swap partners.
Yes.
They all don't sleep together, but the husband will sleep with the other wife and his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and the other husband will do the same.
Right.
But they actually date too. They show them trying to date. They show them
each
trying to be
partner
intimate.
has two sexual partners.
Yes, but the men do not engage, and the women do not engage. If that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense. So I get that. I would just like to see more of polyamorous relationships, because I think, was it Max or was it HBO? I think HBO used to have a series back in the day where it followed like people that were
I watched
in
this
polyamorous
show.
relationships
Yeah.
where
What was it called? Poly something. But yeah,
Yeah.
I know that show.
yeah,
I
and
watched it.
and like different, and like people in the relationships, dated both men and women, and they were in relationships with each other, and they were trying to have, manage.
They showed
their
you how they
relationship
introduce people to the polycule.
and how they have these rules
Yeah.
and how they have these agreements.
It was kind of fascinating.
I would like to have seen more of that with counseling, with therapy.
That's a good idea.
I think that would have been a lot more helpful and healthy for us to see these things. I think people were carrying traditional agreements and relationships that were a part of tradition and information, not anything that came from like
Agreed.
a therapist.
I love that.
I felt like that would have been a little bit
I
healthier.
would like that too.
But yeah, I enjoyed all of these shows. I'm very interested in all these different things. But let's talk about like some of the things that felt like healthy to us.
So yes. So I think some of the shows, and honestly, I don't have too many, but I think
I only have two.
So I think I only have two as well. Like the shows that kind of capture it all without the gaslighting, without the cheating. And I think the first one I want to mention that kind of hits the mark, if you will. Like there are things that I took away from that I think I've applied into my relationship wholeheartedly, earnestly. And the first one is the boyfriend.
Ooh, yeah.
And that one, because
So it's 3 for me because I
you weren't thinking about the boyfriend.
I was.
But we've talked about this
We've
show.
talked about the boyfriend.
But I
before.
love this show. It allowed us to see a dynamic, a group of men a group of gay, mostly Japanese. I want to say they're all Japanese, but
they're not all Japanese. No,
but definitely of Asian descent,
Mm.
coming together to try and date, and it wasn't competitive. It was just meant to see you get into this house and who do you connect with. And everybody's on the table.
The values were different.
The values were
value
different.
difference. Like, so they had them not just live together, but they had to live together, share a budget,
work together, and maintain that budget.
And then had to go and like brought money back.
Yeah.
To help like increase the budget and do all of these different.
And if it didn't work out, right? Let's say the match wasn't theirs. I feel like every contestant on that show was committed to the show. There's no one on this show for me, so I didn't stay. They would leave.
Yeah,
somebody
somebody was
thank
like,
you so
"You know
much. I
what?
had a good time.
I'm gonna leave because I feel like a love match is not gonna have for me here." And then everyone would shoot their shot, and then when their shot didn't like work out,
it didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
It wasn't
no hard
salacious.
feelings.
It wasn't.
It wasn't combative. It wasn't It was just a hey, and there was no like trying to sabotage someone else.
No, it really wasn't.
It was just like all I can do is come up and then there was a lot of there wasn't a lot of sex forward. You know what?
Nope.
Most of the people there were turned off by like you trying to get in bed with me right away.
Yeah, but I think maybe particularly because of the cameras, I think there was one like little itty bitty moment, but even that went too far.
Yeah.
Right?
Even
He's
that person
I
was
don't want-
like,
I don't wanna go that
you
far.
doing too much.
It was really well done. I really want a second season, but I feel like I actually
coming.
learned something. I really like genuinely learned something,
Mhm.
and I would watch it again, and I would recommend this to anyone.
And I was like, okay, well, Japan is teaching us about relationship,
What?
honey.
In a good way. What you
Okay.
got?
Have you ever seen Your Mom, My Dad?
I haven't watched this in so long. Why? How? I'm so floored that you have watched Your Mom, My Dad. Actually, yes, because they hooked them up. Oh, actually, this is the cute one.
I loved this.
Oh,
Was
actually,
so
this was very
adorable. It was so
cute.
touching. It was a dating
Yeah.
show of older adults
Now I remember.
being brought to a house to find love. Everybody there was single, and they had all these theme nights, and they were sent on dates, and they were, the adults were being moved around by these panel of experts. Well, it turned out the panel of experts were their adult children living in a separate house that were watching everything that was going on in their house. And so the dates were being arranged
That was
and all
so
these different
cute.
things that were happening based on their adult children saying, you know what, my dad needs to like put himself out there, or my mom needs
This
to
was actually
like
a really sweet show.
make better decisions. She always goes for the first man that she sees. I need her to, spend some time with somebody else. This ain't no. I need to send her over here. So it was really sweet to see like their children really taking care of them.
Actually, that's a good one, Roger. I forgot
And then
about that
the
one.
kids, like the children of the singles, like gaining this bond and this friendship between them. It was really sweet.
That's
It was
actually
really
a sweet one. Oh my God, that's a good one. That's the only one I had, girl.
Was the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Well,
all of these are problematic, even though I watched them all.
my other one is Love on the Spectrum.
Damn, that was cute.
It is,
And they only did one
so
season of that.
hard. Well, second season's coming.
Oh, is
The
it?
second season is coming.
It was the most beautiful, non-cringy.
It is so loving to see these. So if you haven't seen Love on the Spectrum, Netflix,
Good one.
make sure you
Such a good one.
go check it out. If you get a chance to go check it out, try, because it will warm your heart.
You will be in tears.
It's a
It's so
number
cute.
of different people on the autism spectrum, and they are venturing out into dating for the first time. And, them navigating dating, and then the loving, supporting relationships of their family, trying to help them, get ready for dating and like get themselves into the dating world. It's just so touching.
I love it.
And them finding love and like, being practical, more practical than us.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's what I want to leave my final thought, my hope. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
I want to see more practicality. I love that we're seeing more Black and more brown people show up in all of these shows, but I still think there's narratives that are still being missed. I want to see more queer.
And I want to see more queer in all this.
But authentic queer, not hyper focused on sex.
Yes.
I want us to pull it back. I feel like there's not enough shows where we're diving into like, what do you really want out of love, and what do you want to bring?
And that's the thing that I was getting from the poly relationships is that the only like most healthy where I saw like most of the members of these poly things were all queer. If they're all queer, it's all sex centered rather than relationship centered.
Yes, and I don't want that anymore.
Where like I want to see like the sexuality of the people showing there being equity amongst all the people in the parties of the relationship, because when it's not, only one or two people have power. One or two people have a power dynamic because they get to have sex with more than one.
Exactly, and I think when you take that out of it, I know it sounds like we're like, Catholicizing, but not. It's like when I go back to the boyfriend, there were these moments where you saw two people like they would just touch hands. And like you knew this was a moment that they were starting to build something around love. You can't see that when everybody's tonguing everybody all over the couches. You miss it. And I think what's missed for audiences who don't come from that particular dynamic, they watch something like like this and think that it's all hypersexual, and it's not. It's like we don't care about love, or we don't care about long-lasting, enduring, healthy relationships. We do. So let's see that on TV.
And you know what? And I think it also depends on like who we are when we're watching it. Like, I don't know how well I could have digested some of this if I were me like 20, 30 years ago, not in a long-term stable relationship. Like, how much I could have seen through how unhealthy some of this was, because I don't know how healthy I was back then.
That's a good point.
And I might have saw myself in a lot of some of this, foolishness.
Yes.
And there's a lot I wasn't doing.
Right? Because it does show us a lot of what we should not do.
There's a lot I wasn't doing. I was like, girl.
I would never do that. Like, I would never do that. I would never walk down that path.
We not. Who's signing up for patriarchy? I'm not doing this.
You won't be renaming me. So, well, there you have it.
There we have it.
There we have it.
So I think that is all we had for
Yeah,
today. I really
one.
enjoyed this discussion. I just this topic. I enjoyed seeing all these new and different things. What do you want to tell the people?
I want to tell the people that, look, take all of this reality TV with a grain of salt. Right? It will teach you things that you shouldn't do. But really, if you're seeking relationship advice, seek it from an expert.
Yeah.
Just leave this as entertainment.
That is very good advice. And I want you to go out and find you some joy, because you deserve it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.